Oh, my Straight Talk family, you hear that theme song, and you know it's time for another edition of Straight Talk. And time for me to say greetings to the entire world, because we are on the World Wide Web and we reach you and communicate with you all around the globe. From right here in the beautiful Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, two lovely islands, two beautiful islands, and one lovely paradise. So I am duty bound, first of all, to say a very good night to St. Kitts and Nevis and to the entire Caribbean region. We down south, we touch past Trinidad on the South American continent, Guyana. Yes, they claim it's a Caribbean island. It's part of CARICOM, yes. And we go all the way up north to Jamaica. And just before we get to Jamaica, muy buenas noches, Cuba, también. But a very pleasant night to the Kittitian Division and Caribbean diaspora all over the globe. We know that some of you are in Africa. There's some of you in Europe. And there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I am at liberty to say good night. I will say good morning, and I'm also at liberty to say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And we always have first-timers. I'll be surprised if you don't have first-timers tonight, because once you continue to share that link, I'm grateful for that. We do have first-timers. And for the first-timers, just to inform you that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, we do have a forum to express yourselves freely. And let's, my Straight Talk family, in the process, try to raise the level of national, regional, and international discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. And my name is Ian Patches Liebert, and I thank Almighty God for blessing me with another opportunity to join you in conversation. Thank you, my brother. Joining you in conversation on yet another occasion. As your host, I always pledge to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness, as I'm always reminded of the words of a favorite hymn of mine, and I like this excerpt from that hymn written by Thomas Jackson and Franz Joseph Haydn, which goes something like this: we are called to be God's prophets, standing for or speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to light. So let's seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we all may know the blessing of the doing of God's will. And having said that, I can assure you, my Straight Talk family, and especially the first timers, that absolutely nothing is watered down on this program. We never try to make it more interesting, neither by omission or exaggeration. Straight Talk is not about sensationalism. We never try to create excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy, because we lean on the facts, as it is my bounden duty to present what I call the unvarnished truth, the plain truth, especially when it comes to governance in St. Kitts and Nevis and everywhere around the world. Because on this program, we are joined together with people across the Federation. We are joined with people in the diaspora all around the world. And some we know very well, some we have met physically and otherwise, spiritually. Others we do not know and may never ever meet. And some will agree with the positions of truth that are advanced on this forum. And some will disagree, and that's expected because we are a different people, and we also encourage a diversity of views. And that's fine. But please never ever sadden me by becoming disagreeable. Let's thank Almighty God in the meanwhile for helping us to understand, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Let us therefore hope and pray for the day when we will all sing his praise together. So welcome again, my people, and thanks for those who continue to share the link as you bring first-timers, or you may have just bumped into us. Please continue to share the link, and please tell your friends that you've bumped into Straight Talk. And if you love it, find a way to tell me. If you love it, find a way to tell the world, I should say. If you do not, find a way to tell me. And I must always remind you that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls, we include your emails. And if you're so minded calling or dispatching an email, the contacts, the numbers are on your screens. And they are 663-6672 and or 646-829-6672. For those who like what I call the cloak of anonymity, we give you access via our email platform, and that is Straight Talk Patches. That's the address. Straight Talk Patches is one word: StraighTalkPatches. That's one word: Straight Talk Patches @gmail.com. We also heard on Alexa, for those who have that app. Just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibe Radio, and you are with us live and lively. And we thank the owner of Massive Vibes Radio for giving us that access at a nominal cost. And while on course, I want to thank those who continue to send donations to support our efforts here on Straight Talk. I say a big, big thank you. Please don't stop. No matter what your contribution is, it helps us to continue this important service. Yes, it's a public service. Others who may wish to donate can simply scan the code on your screen to access the payment form. A very simple process. So thank you again for your support and for helping us to keep the dialogue alive. There's no Straight Talk unless I welcome, especially my junior brigade. Young Dwayne, Jasmine, Tristan, Shema, Kevin, Young Rue, Jamal, Travis Travon, and my grandson Neema and his good friend Soraya. I must also say hello to a very big fan there in Sandy Point, Patricia Liddy. She's never misses a program. Hope you are connected. And to that special lady in St. Louis, greetings. We normally start with our observations in review. We highlight the current issues. We do some reflection. We ask a few questions. And we try to establish what new we have learned as a people. And after our observations and review, we move right into our thesis, which I have labeled tonight Independence or Reconciliation. What is it? That's the question we ask tonight. So please do not change the platform. Spread the word that Straight Talk is live on social media, YouTube, Facebook, and Alexa. And my Straight Talk family, don't you ever change that dial. And our first observation for tonight relates to National Heroes Day, which went just on Tuesday. And the first National Heroes Day was observed on September 16 in 1998, some 27 years ago. And 27 years thereafter, on Tuesday the 16th of September 2025, was the first time in its history there was no national address on this special occasion. No national address on this special occasion. And National Heroes Day in St. Kitts and Nevis is a public holiday, as we all know, that honors individuals who made outstanding contributions to the nation's development and independence. It is a day to remember, celebrate, and reflect on the sacrifices and achievements of the country's official national heroes. And as of 2025, today there are 5 officially recognized national heroes. And my Straight Talk family, the purpose of the day, I believe, is to educate the public, especially our younger generation, about the legacy of our national heroes, to inspire patriotism and national pride, and to commemorate the fight for freedom, self-governance, and equality. While National Heroes Day, September 16, specifically honors the designated national heroes, it is also an occasion when the government of the day may bestow other honors and awards, such as National Honors Awards, the Companion of the Star of Merit, the Medal of Honor, and of course, if there's a new national hero, the Order of National Hero. That's reserved for officially designated heroes only. And special commendations in terms of special recognitions are given to those who have contributed to public service, education, sports, healthcare, arts, and culture, to name a few. Well, we don't know if, well, by tomorrow we ought to know. Tomorrow is Independence Day, but we normally would have heard that on Heroes Day. But our national heroes, you'll typically see wreath laying ceremonies at Heroes Park in St. Kitts and Nevis. But this year's National Heroes Day has come and gone, however, with much controversy. Apart from failing to deliver the usual national address by the Prime Minister, the Federation was made aware of 2 nominations for National Hero, posthumously for the late Vance Winkworth Amory, former Premier of Nevis and Senior Minister in the Harris-led administration, Team Unity administration, and our living legend, Kim Collins, once crowned the fastest man in the world. Nominations, we are told, were sent to a committee that will make a recommendation for Cabinet's approval or disapproval. Straight Talk cannot confirm that this was done and may never, or unless it may be announced on Independence Day tomorrow, the 19th of September. But Straight Talk learned of another controversy, which was raised by Pastor Lincoln Connor of the Antioch Baptist Church. And this issue raised by Lincoln Connor is self-explanatory.
National Heroes Day, and we are going to go and we are going to sing for 5 people. 5 people we have up in the park. We still believe Pastor Connor should be a national hero in this country. We are not bullying our way into nothing. And we have done 2 years, 2 times, last year and this year, not even an acknowledgement of the application, not even a letter from whoever the committee is or whoever does these things to say they got it. That is an insult to this ministry, an insult to the people who send it, and an insult to the work that has taken place in this country over 60 years. It is an insult. It is an insult to the memory of that great man who spoke the keynote address on September the 18th when this country became independent, 1983. We are not bullying our way nothing. If you have a poll today, every person, every political divide in this country will say to you, Pastor Connor is well deserving to be in that park. Everybody will tell you that. Far and near across this world, everybody will tell you that. We are a better person and people because of that man. All of our lives have been impacted because of that man. And you tell me nobody gonna bully you into doing anything? We are not bullying anybody. We are saying that we must inspire people. And we are saying that not only political figures should be national hero. We are saying that the church must be represented. And this man blazed a trail. I'm not asking you that. I'm telling you that you know that. Everybody in this country know that. And I watch how we do things in this country and think that you are just gonna roll over people. Well, we will send it in every year. We will continue to send it in every year. And you cannot acknowledge it. The day will come when a government will get in and they will acknowledge it. We must done with those things in this country. You can't find another person. Selflessly. The Lord of numbers, you can't number the people. Everybody who talk with a heart of gratitude. And I'm saying, if you don't want to do it, that's fine, that's up to you. But Lord, not even a letter to say you got it. And I want you, whenever you walk this country, to advocate. Because they're going to meet you and tell you all kind of things. And all you need to say to them is, I agree and I support my pastor 100%.
The first Sunday, September 1949, we went across this village, gathering children for Jesus into the unity-friendly society. We were sent out by the Lord to the back streets of our village. We had no blueprint. We had no plans. We had no program. We had no buildings. We had no money. We had no benches. We had no Sunday school specialists. We had no expert. We had no training in child psychology and theology. We had no training in those subjects. All we had was a black Bible, a big stick, bless God, and the leadership of the Holy Spirit of God. And we went across our village because we saw a need, because we had a vision, because we had a dream, because we had a burden, and because we had a call.
Yes, my Straight Talk family. All he had was a black Bible. And the question is whether the naming of national heroes must be left exclusively to political persons. What about the church? What about sports? But for the record, the William Connor Primary School was named in honor of the late Pastor William Connor. But that's beside the point. The question we ask, so does the Terence Michael Drew cabinet believe that is enough for Pastor Connor? And my second observation keeps me on the Antioch Baptist Church, because my attention was brought to some comments made by Pastor Lincoln Connor, which went like this, my Straight Talk family.
Today we have leaders across the region who have so much question marks over their head about wealth, and then they have followers who say you just gouge them. You have leaders after 7 terms and 6 terms. Well, you don't think nobody else could manage the affairs of that country? And then you want to tell me that you are so black conscious? I don't care how active you are. When you reach a certain age, you need to go rest. You need to go rest. I ain't no doctor. I'm not very bright. But the little bit that I know, clearly your body falling apart. Your brain ain't working right. You need to go and rest. And anybody who have proper sense in their head should not vote for nobody in those kind of age brackets. I prefer to make a mistake with the young person than with those people. They need to go sit down. Anybody on my side? Yes. So next election, make sure you bring in all young people. But you know me, and so thing with all.
Well, my Straight Talk family, if the Antioch Baptist Church had served communion that morning, we could have concluded that Pastor Lincoln Connor drank all the wine. Because the Bible frames the role of older people in a country's development around their wisdom, their mentorship and faith, rather than physical strength or economic output. Older people are meant to be a source of stability, guidance, and spiritual legacy for younger generations. The Bible consistently teaches that older people should be honored and their wisdom respected, a principle foundational to a healthy development society. Wisdom comes with age. Read passages of scripture like Job 12, verse 12, which states, and I quote, "Wisdom is with the age, and understanding in length of days." And that comes from the English Standard Version. So older people are seen as having accumulated knowledge and discernment through their long life experiences, Pastor. A key aspect of older people's role is to pass down wisdom and experience to the younger generation, ensuring the nation's continuity and righteousness. The good Bible teaches that older age does not negate a person's purpose or ability to contribute meaningfully. Instead, it can be a time of sustained productivity and spiritual impact. The Bible is positive about old age. Old age is not a mistake in God's design, Pastor Connor. He planned old age to be a season of harvest for his older people, a time of accumulated wisdom and experience from a life spent with him. It is also a time of continuing growth. And the pastor ought to know that they will still yield fruit in old age. They shall be full of sap and very green. Read Psalm 92, verse 14. And if you look at Malaysia, Mahathir Mohamad was re-elected in 2018 at the age of 92 years. He returned to power to combat corruption because the world's oldest, and he became the world's oldest head of government. I'm just stating the facts. He resigned later at 94, 2 years later. And his resignation stirred up major uncertainty in Malaysian politics. The king asked Mahathir to stay on as interim president until a new government was formed. Look at Pope Francis of the Vatican at age 88, was a spiritual leader to 1.3 billion Catholics. Though not an elected head of state, he exerted global influence. And seen as progressive and intellectually sharp, upon his death, he was replaced by Pope Leo XIV, who is 70 years old. And he balances global spiritual leadership with transparency about aging and health, and sets a precedent for religious institutions. No different. Excuse me, my straight up family. Fighting the cold here. No different to the political organizations. So when you go to the polls, contrary to what the pastor suggested, next time, you must consider these examples which reinforce that age is neither a guarantee nor a disqualifier. What really matters is health and cognitive fitness, adaptability and openness to new ideas, connection to constituents, especially the younger generations, and ethical leadership and transparency. So tell me, do you want to elect leaders that we have now in St. Kitts Nevis that are so corrupt and self-centered, focused on themselves? It's I. It's about them. I. Typical example is Iselin Philip. Not even elected, but stood up in the parliament and was about I. And she said this. Remember this?
The reality is, under the former administration, there was nothing. There was nothing happening, Madam Speaker. And you know, I had a student loan, Madam Speaker. Thanks to God for this job, I was able to pay off that student loan most recently. Celebrate that for me.
Celebrate. Celebrate that for her, my straight dog family. She paid off her student loan in a matter of months. Within a year, and she was appointed, my straight dog family. Now she's making a baby. Kudos to Iselin. But those are my observations in review for tonight. And I move right into my thesis, which I've said I have titled Independence or Recolonization. What is it? Is the question we ask. And come tomorrow on the 19th of September 2025. We will mark 42 years of independence from British colonial rule. 42 years since we raised our own flag, sang our own anthem, and declared ourselves a free and sovereign people. But after 4 decades, we are right to ask the painful questions. Are we truly independent? Are we truly free? Because what is independence if we still live under the shadow of systems we never built for ourselves? Systems designed, I should say, to exploit and not to empower. Let us be clear, my Straight Dog family. Our journey from slavery to colonization to independence has been one of struggle. Slavery was brutal, violent, and inhumane. Colonization, by contrast, was more subtle, but no less destructive. No less destructive, my Straight Dog family. It installed foreign political, economic, and social structures that subordinated our people and extracted our wealth. Independence was therefore supposed to break that cycle. But today, many of those systems remain largely untouched, and their legacies continue to shape our present. We see it in the widening inequality, the class-based politics, broken public infrastructure, foreign dependency, masked as development. We have changed the flag, we have changed the anthem, but we have not yet changed the system. And let us tell the truth. For 42 years, we have tried to forge a post-colonial identity and build a modern nation. But successive governments have failed to break free from the mindset of colonial subservience. We were told about reconsidering our relationship with the crown, my Straight Dog family. We were told this, my Straight Dog family.
The shifting tides of constitutional change. This tiny island is reconsidering its relationship with the Crown. The Prime Minister of St Kitts and Nevis says he wants to give people a say on who their head of state should be.
The head of state still reside in the monarchy of England. And so that aspect of it is telling us that we are not totally free yet. That consultation or discussion will start sometime during my leadership.
The Prime Minister is also calling for an apology for the monarchy's historic role in the slave trade.
I think that acknowledging that something would have gone wrong, something wrong was done, that acknowledging it and apologizing for it is a step in the right direction.
But who would believe? Who would believe, my Straight Dog family? 2 years later, our Prime Minister runs to London to beg the King. Went to see the King, to beg the King for a knighthood for his senior minister. As though royal validation still defines our worth. We were told about diversification, out of sugar, out of tourism, out of the CBI. But for over 20 years, we have failed to fund a single kilowatt of geothermal energy. We discarded shovel-ready projects like the new Bastia High School and the 36 megawatt solar farm, both critical to our future. Instead, what do we get? A Tabasco deal that sends 300 of our citizens per 100 acre to pick peppers in fields to send to the foreigner or foreign company. Then we get a so-called deal, a so-called special sustainable zone in Nevis, offering 2,000 to 2,400 acres of land to foreign investors, my straight dog family. That's what we get. That's what we get, my straight dog family, from our leaders.
You've studied zone around the world and what's been happening in these libertarian zones around the world. For example, Honduras. Postera in Honduras. You're familiar with it?
I've heard of it, yes.
All right, so for Honduras, there's a libertarian zone in Honduras, established around 2013 under the former president Hernandez. And that zone occupies 1,000 acres of land. And it's called Postera. And Honduras, as we know, is 43,500 square miles, 10 times the size of Jamaica. In your conversation with me and us last week, you said this zone would be 2,000 plus.
No, let me correct that. I said they're targeting 2,000 plus acres of land. I think it's about 2,400 or thereabouts. That's the target.
Yeah, yes.
area.
So,
okay.
2,400 acres of land with no transparency, no evidence, no guarantee of real jobs or benefits for our people. All we are told is it's a game changer. But let me be clear, my straight dog family. This is not development. This is not sovereignty. This is the recolonization of St. Kitts and Nevis, led not by foreigners, but by our own inexperienced, visionless leaders who can't find a way to generate revenue to provide water, electricity, or dignity for their people. In 2025, our people still struggle for reliable water. Our energy grid is outdated and fragile. Meanwhile, billions from CBI programs have come and gone with little to nothing to show. And yes, Pastor Lincoln, you are absolutely right on this one. You are right on this one about our CBI.
For when we think of our nation and we think of 42 years of independence, yes, indeed, we have come a long way. But I want to submit to us, we are further than we should have been. Before people started making a big fuss about CBI money, I often used to wonder, if we have so much money, why our social services are the way they are. With all the money we had, no good hospital, no good schools, no good airport, no good roads, no water system, no electricity. I know somebody gonna vex with me today, but that's okay. With all the monies that we had, we should have been the envy of the Caribbean. After all, we started the process before them. After all, we were in Dubai before them. After all, we're smarter than them. Jamaicans, we're smarter than you. I have some Jamaican friends online. We're smarter than you. We should have been further ahead. And when we talk about this freedom, then, if the heart is liberated, the system would be liberated. For you can't tell me that your heart is liberated and you are concerned about your friends and family. You line your pockets and the majority of the people are poor.
And yes, I agree, Pastor Lincoln, on this submission. We are rich in sun, wind, and geothermal energy. Yet we import oil and export labor. We have brilliant engineers, teachers, and entrepreneurs. Yet we give land, contracts, and passports to foreign interests while sidelining our own talent. And I will tell you about that sidelining on Monday when we do part 2. Don't forget, God's willing, on Monday we do part 2 of the National Bank on the criminal investigation. But we were promised freedom. Getting back to my point. Instead, we are handed debt, dependence, and dysfunction. They came to power wearing the face of freedom, wrapped in colors of our flags, and speaking the language of liberation. But over time, many of our leaders, those who were once hailed as liberators, have become new colonizers. They have not freed us. They have merely changed the flag above the palace gate. Today, the chains are not foreign. They are domestic. The betrayal cuts deeper because it comes from those who look like us. Same pigmentation of the skin. They speak like us and swore to fight for us. They promised independence but delivered submission to foreign interests, to corporate power, and worst of all, to their own greed. How did we get here? We ask. Our leaders no longer govern for the people. They manage us like assets. They sign away our land to multinational corporations. They make our nation indebted to international banks like Afrexim Bank. They enrich themselves while their people suffer. They have built private kingdoms in the shells of public institutions. And when we speak out, they unleash the same tools of colonial control, propaganda, police, violence, censorship, and fear. But let's just be clear, my Straight Dog family. This is just not just corruption. This is internalized colonialism. Our leaders have adopted the mindset of the oppressor. They do not see the people as citizens. They see us as subjects. They do not serve, they rule. And in doing so, they have become the very thing our ancestors have fought against. This is the great betrayal of post-independence history as we were recolonized from within. True independence is not just about removing foreign flags. It's about dismantling systems of exploitation, whether they are run from London, Washington, or our own capital cities. Until power flows from the people and serves the people, we are not free. And so, we must stop worshipping titles, stop excusing betrayal because it wears our skin. Stop confusing representation with liberation. But my Straight Dog family, I do not stand here only to criticize. I stand to call for radical transformation and bold leadership. And I must suggest a way forward. It must end the culture of political patronage. Stop using the state as a reward system. Appoint people based on merit, not loyalty. Governance is not a popularity contest. It is a responsibility to the people. Immediately prioritize energy and water security. Re-engage the Basti High School and 36 megawatt solar farm projects. Fund and fast-track geothermal exploration with local and regional partners. And ban secret deals and enforce transparency laws. No more MOUs signed behind closed doors. No more game-changing projects announced without documentation, feasibility studies, or community consultation. Reclaim our land. Rebuild our identity. We cannot sell away 2,400 acres in Nevis for vague promises. The land is power. Land is identity. Keep it in the hands of the people. And don't trust the dishonesty. When the Prime Minister tries to distance himself, my Straight Dog family, imagine this. Recently he posted, there have been attempts to draw me in as Prime Minister into Nevis land use management. The Constitution is clear that neither the federal government nor the Prime Minister has any input on land use in Nevis, except for matters of national security, customs, and immigration. I therefore ask that neither I nor the federal government be drawn into this discussion, which is a matter for the Nevis Island administration and the people of Nevis. Could you imagine that, my Straight Dog family? When Terence Michael Drew was the one who took the legislation to Parliament, he took the bill to Parliament for its first reading.
I recognize the Honourable Member for St. Christopher 8.
Madam Deputy Speaker, with your leave once again, I rise to have read for the first time in this Honourable House a bill entitled Special Sustainability Zones Authorization Bill 2025.
Seconder, I recognize the Honourable Member for Nevis 9.
Madam Speaker, I rise to second that motion.
Thank you. The question is that the bill entitled Special Sustainability Zone Authorization Bill 2025 be read a first time. Those in favour? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
A bill to authorize and empower the Prime Minister with approval of Cabinet and, if necessary, the Nevis Island Administration to enter into development agreements for the establishment of special sustainability zones on real property within St. Christopher and Nevis, and to provide for related or incidental matters, otherwise known as a Special Sustainability Zones Authorization Bill 2025.
The bill entitled Special Sustainability Zones Authorization Bill 2025 has been read a first time.
Read a first time, my Street Dog family, and seconded by the opposition leader and Premier of Nevis. And then 2 weeks later, it is read a second time.
I recognize the Honourable Member for St. Christopher 8.
Space in this place. Madam Speaker, with your leave, I rise to lead the debate of and have read for a second time in this Honourable House the bill shortly entitled the Special Sustainability Zone Authorization Bill 2025. Madam Speaker, this bill gives our country a practical tool to attract foreign direct investment and create long-term job opportunities while protecting our environment. It is a framework for doing big projects the right way.
And believe it or not, my Straight Dog family, the rules of the House were relaxed, and that bill was read a third time and passed into law, seconded by the Premier.
I recognize the Honourable Member for St. Christopher 8.
Madam Speaker, with your leave, I rise once again to report that the bill shortly entitled Special Sustainability Zones Authorization Bill 2025 has passed through committee stage with amendments. And I further move that the bill shortly entitled Special Sustainability Zones Authorization Bill 2025 be read a third time and passed into law. May it please you, Madam Speaker.
I recognize the honourable member for Nevis 9.
I second the motion. Thank you.
The question is that the bill shortly entitled Special Sustainability Zones Authorization Bill 2025 be read a third time and passed into law. Those in favour? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
You see the collusion, my straight dog family. So let's ask ourselves, what kind of independence do we celebrate? The people of St. Kitts are still landless, while vast acres of land remain in the name of the Crown. Yes, I said it, Crown lands. After 42 years of so-called independence, we still live under the shadow of a foreign monarch. And our most valuable asset, the land beneath our feet, is legally not even ours. In Nevis, our brothers and sisters have managed to retain land ownership in the hands of the people. But even there, the creeping hand of recolonization has begun. There's a new colonial order. Yes, speak plainly, we are being recolonized. In St. Kitts, under the leadership of Dr. Dennis Douglas, we heard of plans to turn Whitegate into a sustainable economic zone, a shiny title for selling off our sovereignty to foreign investors who promise us jobs while they take our land, extract our resources, and leave us dependent on their mercy. In Nevis, Olivier Janssens, a self-proclaimed libertarian from overseas, has been granted control over 2,400 acres of Nevisian land, with permission to build a self-contained, self-governed zone. Imagine that. In our own independent nation, a foreigner has been given the right to create a quasi-state with its own energy, own water, own safety and security. This is not sustainable development. This is strategic recolonization, enabled and orchestrated by the very leaders we elected to protect us. And you know, my straight dog family, what is even troubling is the fact that smells so corrupt when the wife of the Premier, Mama Brantley, is a go-between these land transactions.
My question is the basically, what should I call it? A list or whatever there is, a client relationship list between the developer and any firm to remove any perception of bias.
So you want a list of what? Because the developer is a company, as I believe it's called South Nevis Limited, and that company is working with my wife and others who are reaching out to people and asking people if they're minded to sell their land.
Okay.
So who do you want to see on that list?
Okay. So just trying to confirm. I don't want to misunderstand what you just stated. You just stated that your wife's real estate company is working with the developer to have the land sold or whatever it is in that area?
To reach out to landowners, bearing in mind, as I said, that the lands over there are private, and to ask them if they're minded to sell their land. So she's acting as a go-between between her client, who's the developer, and landowners, and asking if they're minded to sell their land.
The client of the wife of the Premier, Sharon Mama Brantley, acting on behalf of the developer Olivier Janssen, to use the words of the Premier, acting as the go-between for Janssens and the landowners. What are we supposed to think? Is this governance or is this collusion? Is this leadership or is this betrayal? The people must awaken. My people, You have to open your eyes. This is the hour to wake up. We must ask ourselves, what is independence without land? What is sovereignty without control? What is freedom when decisions about our country are being made in backrooms by a few elite families and their foreign partners? This is not a time for silence. This is a time for resistance, for standing up, for reclaiming our land, our power, and our future. Let us reject this neo-colonial agenda, whether it wears a suit in Bastille or a smile in Charlestown. Let us demand that no land be sold or leased to foreign developers without the explicit approval of the people. Let us call for a full audit of crown lands, land transfers and political dealings on both islands. Let us insist that development serves the people, not to enslave them. Let us remember that independence is not a date. It is not a speech. It is not a flag. Independence is the power to decide our future for ourselves by ourselves and in the interests of the generations to come. St. Kitts and Nevis, this is our moment. We cannot wait until the last acre is gone, until our people are renters in their own land, until our national anthem becomes a hollow song. We must rise. We must resist. We must reclaim. Let us make this year when we don't just celebrate independence, but finally demand it. Not just from Britain, not just from past colonial masters, but from those among us who sell us back into bondage under the name of development. Recolonization will not be our future, not under our watch, not in our name. But when the true spirit of freedom rise again in St. Kitts and Nevis, then there will be no need to ask, independence or recolonization? What is it? That's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I am going to open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. But when I do so, and I'll do so momentarily, I anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned, and let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in the process of saying and or doing those things, let's strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. At 4 past the 9 o'clock hour, we go to the lines and take our first call. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller? Let's take this other call then. Caller, you're alive.
Mr. Straight Talk, good evening.
Yes, my dear brother. Good evening. How art thou?
How are you, my wonderful brother?
I am peaceful.
Abracadabra.
I just recognize that voice. Abracadabra. My brother from another mother.
How are you, my brother?
I am peaceful.
So when are we going to sit down?
I am looking forward to connecting with you before you leave. I can assure you. I'll call you offline and let you know. Okay?
Yes.
I thought about you today.
Thank you so much for...
I thought about you today.
Yes, I've been thinking about you myself. Monday, someone met me in town and they said to me, and straight at these people just coming out of the blue and seeing me and say, I hear your voice. And I hear this voice, and in Ramsay, and one young man come up to me and he says, look, I hear that voice, I know that voice. You is Abracadabra? I said, yes, I'm Abracadabra. You see where we are in the Straight Talk? I know the young man because I left him here small. Okay. But now the young man grown up and have beard and everything, and I was so surprised. So how are you doing otherwise?
I'm peaceful, my brother. I'm real peaceful. I'm fighting the coffee, but I'm okay. I'm peaceful. God's been good to me. What about yourself?
Well, I just wanted to take care of yourself. I just want to say
I have lost that caller. I lost that caller, abracadabra. I've lost that caller. I seem to have dropped out. Yes, my Straight Talk family, it's 6 past the 9 o'clock hour. We are entertaining your calls. If you have just joined me, we're asking the question, is it independence or recolonization? What is it? Tomorrow we celebrate this so-called 42 years of independence. Are we truly independent, my Straight Talk family? Is a question we ask my Straight Talk family. But let us go back to the lines and say, caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Mr. Liber.
Good night, my dear. And how art thou?
I am great.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor.
Given by the oppressor. Mm-hmm.
It must be demanded by the oppressed.
Oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed.
Yes. I repeat, freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much. We always welcome your quotations and always thought-provoking quotations, yes? Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller?
Good night.
How is the Bible man tonight?
Well, the Bible man is fine.
Bible man is fine. Are you ready for independence?
Now, Mr. Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Hear the word of God. Blessed is the man that considereth the poor.
Yes.
In the time of trouble, the Lord shall deliver him.
True.
Psalm 50. The Lord said, a cattle and 1,000 hills. And he said he know the beasts of the field. He said, all of them are he one, all are mine. Now here, he said, if I am hungry, I would not ask you for nothing. He said the world is mine. So anything you want to do, you do. That's it. In Deuteronomy chapter, my God, tonight, I am going to let go. Deuteronomy chapter 8. Lord is pending. Verse 18, Mr. Patrick. I want everybody to listen and everybody to read it. The word of God says give you power to get wealth. Now yourself. So when God gives you power to get wealth, you must look after the poor people. The money is not your honor. It is God's money.
True.
Or what you hold on for it for? God give you to look after the poor people. And so, my brother, the time is coming when you have to be an account for it. So when you start to pressurize the poor people, trample them, let them not hurt nobody. God see you, and God watching you. So I all have to say to somebody tonight, when you not got nothing, kneel down
and pray
and talk to God. He said, ask me. He said, when you ask, it shall be given unto you. And one thing I am saying tonight, Mr. Patel, God knows all our we. He tell Jeremiah, before you're born, I know you in your mother's womb. So he said, I dare you to be a prophet of the nation. So Patel, I am going to sound the alarm. People, look after the poor people. God said, God said, we all our brothers keeper.
Yep.
And so, Mr. Patel, one thing I'm going to leave with, two things I'm going to leave with you tonight. The Bible says in Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7, to be not deceived. God is not mocked. But it has been saying that happen day after day. When you sow, that you're going to reap. You can't plant potato wine and get yarn. And you can't plant pigeon peas and get red peas. And so, Mr. Patrick, well, I'm going to tell you before God, Saturday is my birthday, Mr. Patrick.
Saturday, wow.
And so, after independence, Saturday is my birthday. And if the Lord help me to live this another milestone, I'm going to give him thanks, and I always give him thanks. Because the word of God says, oh, give thanks unto the Lord.
He's good.
For he's good.
His mercies.
His mercy endures forever.
Yes, my brother.
He shall let the redeem as the Lord said so. For you have redeemed from the hand. Now the last thing, it is the Lord mercy, Mr. Patel.
Yes.
It is God's mercy, not man mercy. It is God's mercy that we are not consumed. That is, good night. Have a pleasant night rest.
Good night, my brother, the Bible man, and we do wish you a happy birthday when it comes on Saturday. And you missed Independence Day. Wow. Mr. Stevenson Manners reads this email. I am an ardent listener to your Monday night NRP program. It is very informative, revealing and enlightening. And I have encouraged many at home and overseas to listen. However, Mr. Manners, last Monday night I was a bit upset with the constant pleading and begging for the Prime Minister to come over to Nevis. For many individuals do not know who he is. Individuals are not beggars, Mr. Manners, and should not be begging for him to execute his constitutional duties. If he doesn't want manage officially visit to Nevis, leave the man alone. Don't make him feel that consequential. It was Premier Parry who once said he was not in the practice of begging and looking to St. Kitts for handouts, as the current case with Brantley. Parry managed the Nevis economy well. With the little taxes generated in Nevis, he was not getting any monthly budgetary support in the region of 66 million monthly from St. Kitts like Mark. And nobody can really comprehend where that kind of money is being spent or disappeared. Could you imagine where Nevis would have been today if Parry was getting that kind of monthly budgetary support. Nevertheless, Nevis will overcome without any visit by Dr. Drew. Tell him loud and clear, Mr. Manners, Prime Minister Dr. Drew, don't bother to come. Reads this email. This other email reads, it was very unfortunate for the Attorney General to make such a foolish statement that McMahon hate the Labour Party to the core. Don't be so ungrateful, AG. It was McMahon who made you what you are today. He campaigned vigorously for Labour to win, while you were out there playing political dodging hoop. Mr. McMahon is an honest, objective individual who calls a spade, and calling wrong, wrong, and right, right. He is not an opportunistic Labour like you. Do you know how foolish you look wearing a red shirt pretending to be a Labour man from the grassroots and want to despise McMahon, a true Labour man? Go and find your plantocracy class. There is where you belong. How many times Edinburgh and the late Earl Clark have told you so? You have no shame, Attorney General, reads this email. It's 17 past the 9 o'clock hour, and we are feeling your calls and also feeling your emails. If you have just joined me, I am presenting my thesis tonight, which I have labeled Independence or Recolonization. What is it? It's a question I ask. And you tell me, what is it? Because when we look at what's happening, we ought to reflect and tell ourselves that independence is not a date. Independence is not a speech. Independence is not a flag. Independence is the power to decide our future for ourselves, by ourselves, and in the interests of generations to come. And when we look at what's happening, my straight dog family, in this country as we speak, I send out a wake-up call to all of our people. We need to wake up. As that quotation came from our favorite caller from across the Narrows, she said, and I quote, freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. And my straight talk family, when we look at what's happening in St. Kitts and Nevis, when we examine where we came from 42 years ago and where we are today, it stands to reason that we need to take a serious look at where we are heading and where we want to go. My straight dog family, I submit to you, my straight dog family, that tomorrow we move into or to a 42nd anniversary of independence. And are we really independent? Is a pertinent question we must ask. We must ask ourselves, my straight dog family. And we must be clear that our journey from slavery to colonization to independence has been one of struggle. We all must have read about it, that slavery was brutal. Slavery was violent and inhumane. Colonization, by contrast, was a little more subtle, but no less destructive. It installed foreign political, economic, and social structures that subordinated our people and extracted our wealth. We've been talking so much about diversification. We were told about diversification out of sugar, out of tourism, and out of CBI. But for over 20 years, we have failed to fund a single kilowatt of geothermal energy. Although there's much talk about it, especially in recent times. It's a federal asset. We've got the money for exploration drilling. Money from Saudi Arabia, from the CDB. In the meanwhile, we discarded shovel-ready projects. No one can dispute that the new Bastia High School under Team Unity was a shovel-ready project. Yet, they abandoned it. No one can dispute that the 36 megawatt solar farm was a shovel-ready project. Yet they abandoned it. And look at what's happening now. Look what we get, my Straight Dog family. Tabasco deal. What's become of that Tabasco deal? 100 acres of land that would generate 300 workers, 300 jobs, and 100 acres of land. Where's that gone? Then we get this so-called special sustainable zone, and it starts in Nevis, of all places, offering 2,000 to 200,400 acres of land to foreign investors, with no transparency, no evidence, and no guarantee of real jobs or benefits for our people. All we are told, it's a game changer, fancy words. But let's be clear. This cannot be development. This is not sovereignty. This is recolonization of St. Kitts and Nevis, led not by foreigners, but by our own inexperienced, visionless leaders who can't find a way to generate revenue, to provide water, electricity, and worse, dignity for us, the people. In 2025, our people still struggle for reliable water supplies. Our energy grid. In St. Kitts, we have been renting 6 generators, costing us over $25 million per year, and that's US dollars. Meanwhile, billions from the CBI programs have come and gone with no show. Yes, I supported Lincoln Connell. Yes, you got this one right, Pastor Lincoln.
For when we think of our nation and we think of 42 years of independence, yes, indeed, we have come a long way. But I want to submit to us, we are further than we should have been. Before people started making a big fuss about CBI money, I often used to wonder, if we have so much money, why our social services are the way they are. With all the money we had, no good hospital, no good schools, no good airport, no good roads, no water system, no electricity. I know somebody gonna vex with me today, but that's okay. With all the monies that we had, we should have been the envy of the Caribbean. After all, we started the process before them. After all, we were in Dubai before them. After all, we're smarter than them. Jamaicans, we're smarter than you. I have some Jamaican friends online. We're smarter than you. We should have been further ahead. And when we talk about this freedom, then, if the heart is liberated, the system would be liberated. For you can't tell me that your heart is liberated and you are concerned about your friends and family. You line your pockets and the majority of the people are poor.
And the majority of the people are poor. Because we are still waiting to verify what the Elon Musk of the Caribbean said. We haven't heard from him for a long time. When asked, where all that money gone? He told us this.
Early in January, a miracle happened, and my American lawyer, pursuant to the court order that we won in Florida, received all the bank transaction of all these people from Bank of America. I repeat, MSR Media is now in possession of all bank transaction for Caribbean Galaxy, Ying Jing, Denzel Douglas, Timothy Harris, CS Global Partner, Farron Lawrence and his company, Sylvester Anthony.
But straight talk, I will add, would like to see the copies of that information. We are still looking for copies of that information so we can substantiate what Mr. Martinez has said. But my straight talk family, we are rich. Let's go back to the lines it's 9:29. Caller, you live.
Good night, my brother Patches.
Yes, good night, sir.
The one and only educator, media to the world. This is brother candidate Winston Welcome Manners. Thank you for your series again tonight. Now, I need to ask, where is our money that generated from CBI? Are you ready for me to call names? Mr. Martinez already uttered that. So I will repeat the same thing that he said. I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. Names were already called, and it's only my interest to reaffirm such a thing. Mr. Martinez have more to come. We just have to be patient. But we know who have our money. Our money has not gone anywhere. It is in the pockets and the bank accounts of those who were there before us, as our leaders who has betrayed us and caused our people to be poor. Cannot afford more or less, mostly anything, so to speak. As long as they are alive, we will find the money. because it is well needed. As I will say to the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, election might seem to be far, but yet near. Vote out all these kleptocrats and never bring in any one of them who hurt us. And names are calling, and there are more names to be called. I hope Mr. Martinez, because I believe him, will come with more. I await. My ears are waiting for more. But we just have to be patient. Our money ain't gone nowhere now. It is with these people as long as they are alive. Some is in Dubai. Some is in Bank of America in the US. Chase and JP Morgan. Wells Fargo. Lots of money out there. But the new administration will claim it. Will get it. We will work with Martinez and all who are working for us. So people, a brighter light is there to shine. Just be humble and patient. We will honor the constitutional protocol to these vagabonds, these kleptocrats, until time is due. You know what to do? Go to the ballot and vote them out. Say, vote them out, because we cannot afford any, not even a nanosecond of their time anymore. Thanks for listening. Remember, I'm a candidate for the federal election, and I will not back down. Thank you for allowing me, Brother Patches. Love you. Good night to all the listeners. Bye for now. Until next time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother. We go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. It's are you there, caller? It's 27 before the 10 o'clock hour. You're live.
Yes, Patches. Good evening, man. How you doing, man?
I am peaceful. Is this a tag team?
Yeah, well, we will find out sooner or later.
Okay. Are you on the ballot as well? Are you there, caller? Are you there, caller?
Yes, I'm here, man. You can hear me loud and clear, right?
I'm hearing you now. Go ahead.
Okay, let's get to it. Yeah, happy Independence Day to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I wish the Federation and the citizens best wishes going forward. We are 42 years old or 42 years young. When you get to that age in life, Patches, you start to know where you're heading. And the Prime Minister, I'm going straight to him tonight. When he was campaigning, he said he's going to take the Federation Republic. I understood that he took a trip up to Britain to go see those slave masters in regard to that. Now, we are not hearing anything about that. Martinez have a documentary that's out, I think. It's called The Men That Sold Out the Caribbean. Is that correct, Patches?
Say that again.
Martinez, I think there was made mention that Martinez has a documentary about the men that sold out the Caribbean.
I heard about it. I can't confirm it though.
Yes, and if so, I will go right up that alley tonight. We are approaching independence tomorrow, and like you have put in your thesis and your observation tonight, and you spoke about in your comments, our lands are our independence. If we are going into independence now, and there has been so much chatter for the last weeks, months, especially after this SSC law was passed, August 11th, all we've been talking about is our lands. There were certain people amongst us that has agendas to take the lands out of the local people's possession and get it into the hands of these rich foreigners. When we lose our lands, we lose our independence.
True.
The Prime Minister, we know he grew up in a certain surroundings, and we are not seeing that of him. The man said he was going to try to take us republic. How can we go republic and we don't own our lands? He was on a program this afternoon, and let me rewind a little bit. I'm going to say this in terms of a retrospect, right? When I got reconnected to this political affairs in St. Kitts and Nevis, one of the first things that I heard is Dr. Denzel Douglas, in the capacity that he was as Prime Minister, never came over to Nevis in 20 years as the capacity as a Prime Minister. So therefore, there was a person who's on Nevis who's 20 years old. They don't even know who the Prime Minister was. We are seeing that repeated with this Prime Minister here today. We don't have a federation just of St. Kitts. We have a federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And him, in his capacity, as I'm referencing the email where you read earlier, somebody is saying, stop pleading to the Prime Minister to come over to Nevis. We don't have to plead for that. That should be a given. The man haven't come Nevis in the capacity as he is as Prime Minister, but yet he colluded with the Premier, run this bill through, pass this law, and it has been the chatter about the lands over on the Nevis end, the southeast side. So definitely it's affecting the citizens of Nevis. Then now here we are, fast forward to today, the man is trying to distance himself away from it, and he was the one that tabled the bill in the federal house. My question is, could that bill have been tabled on the NIA side, in the NIA parliament? Why did it come to the federal house? Is it because of the responsibilities of the federal government, national security, customs, and such? That's the question I can put to you, Patches. The constitutional scholars need to come forward and give that information up. But it all started recently from the CBI program. It's so much money that was raked into basket over all of those years. St. Kitts and Nevis need to be in tip-top shape, no doubt about it. Man, I left the Federation in 1985, and looking back to today, we are still talking about inadequate water and inadequate electricity. Bad roads. We don't have a state-of-the-art hospital. Our schools are in shambles. We're still talking about the Bastille High School coming. How much years those kids are being out of that school? This stuff is disappointing. All that CBI money disappeared down them rabbit holes. A lot of kleptocrats in the Federation. We got to call them out when we see it. Man, we are not setting aside no lands for agriculture. Why don't they pass a law to preserve an agricultural economic zone? Why don't they take 50 working class persons on St. Kitts, 25 on Nevis, and distribute some lands for them free of cost, since Bratchedon secures these lands for us and since Simmons done paid for those lands for us? Man, we're not seeing nothing revolutionary happening in St. Kitts Nevis. Status quo remain, man. When is the change that we need gonna come? We are not independent until we are self-sufficient in food and we can feed our mouths. Guyana have done that, and we ain't seen that happening in St. Kitts and Nevis. But kudos to the one Banky over on the Nevis side and Yasson Tafari, two gentlemen that been holding down the fort and who has all this knowledge in agriculture. And we need to put those fellas to work over in Nevis so we can get up to speed and be self-sufficient in food. Those guys' skills and talents and experience is being wasted. And Banky has thrown his hand in the ring for the next coming election in Nevis, and I want to encourage him and wish him the best, and everybody else who's going to come in and is as an independent. when the next rally, the awareness rally that's coming up in St. Kitts on 26th of this month, I hope persons who is underground and who's available will be out there sharing their disgust with the governments. Thanks a lot, Patches. You guys have a good night.
Thanks a lot for your intervention. And yes, as my earlier caller stated in a quotation, that freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. And my Straight Talk family, we are rich in sun. We have wind. And not just rich, I should say we are blessed with sunlight, with wind, and 2 volcanoes. Yet we cannot develop geothermal energy. We have to import oil. We have brilliant engineers, teachers, and entrepreneurs. Yet we give land contracts and passports to foreign interests while sidelining our own talent. And it was sad to hear Premier Brantley say this.
The truth is, I think, that there are a number of possible opportunities that exist. And the question for us is to have a fulsome debate about those. And as I said, ultimately, for the people of Nevis to determine whether they want this or they don't want it. But from my perspective and my position as the Premier of Nevis, I am responsible for attracting investment, local and foreign, attracting money into the country, allowing the country to grow and to develop. This island took a leap forward when the Four Seasons came. And one of the biggest complaints that I've heard, particularly from the opposition about my government, is that we have not been able to attract a major investor. They say the investors are out at sea. They say the investors are not coming ashore. But now that an investor has come ashore, and that investor is saying that I want to do something significant on the island of Nevis, the same people who said the investors were not coming ashore say send him back out to sea. That is the nature of the politics. I have to rise above the politics and engage in a meaningful debate and discussion in the country about development.
And he went on to say development at any cost, even at the cost of excluding the local investor. Sidelining our own talent. My Straight Talk family, we were promised freedom. Instead, we are handed debt, dependence, and destruction. But we are recolonized by our own people. They came to power wearing the face of freedom, wrapped in the colors of our flags, and speaking the language of liberation. But over time, many of our own leaders, those who were once hailed as liberators, have become our new colonizers. Those in office provide a typical example, my Straight Talk family, a typical example over in Nevis and across the Narrows in St. Kitts. They have not freed us. They have merely changed the flag above the palace gate. That's my humble opinion. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, Patches, this will be my last call. But I need you to verify something for me, if you could. You remember the first time we met at that church on White Plains Road in the Bronx? I was made to understand independence celebration will be here also. Do you know if it's the same church, the same location? You heard anything?
I don't know. I haven't followed the movements of the mission. I have not.
Well, the description of the location seems to be there, and I believe it is there.
Mm-hmm.
But I need the Prime Minister to know that Winston Welcome will be there.
Okay. So you expect him to attend?
Well, just said he's coming and he will be at that church. So I will be there without invitation. And I'm expected to see him and watch him right in his face. I'm your competitor. So I just need to put it out there. I stand for correction if the location is right.
Okay.
I'm willing to face my competitor like two boxers. Watch each other in the face.
Okay.
Diligently. Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you, my dear brother. Well, it's a church service, and I believe that no one is normally excluded. So I don't see any reason why you should not attend that church service. As I recall, Mr. Welcome, that we met some years ago at that particular service. And we recall, getting back to our discussion for tonight, that the Prime Minister made this comment in 2022. Recall this.
The shifting tides of constitutional change. This tiny island is reconsidering its relationship with the Crown. The Prime Minister of St Kitts and Nevis says he wants to give people a say on who their head of state should be.
The head of state still reside in the monarchy of England. And so that aspect of it is telling us that we are not totally free yet. That consultation or discussion will start sometime during my leadership.
The Prime Minister is also calling for an apology for the monarchy's historic role in the slave trade.
I think that acknowledging that something would have gone wrong, something wrong was done, that acknowledging it and apologizing for it is a step in the right direction.
Yes, that sounds good. But in truth and in fact, today, as we stand on the threshold of the 42nd anniversary of independence, the chains are not foreign, they are domestic, local. The betrayal cuts deeper because it comes from those who look like us, like you and I. They speak like us, and they swore to fight for us. They promised independence, but delivered submission to foreign interests, to corporate power, and worst of all, to their own greed. A corrupt bunch of leaders. The naming of the Sadler's Secondary School reads this email. After Douglas is regrettable, and it should be nullified, reads this email. After someone must be one of good moral character. One who demonstrates respect for himself and others. One who demonstrates truthfulness and is trustworthy. Who would be pleased to have their child or children attending a school named after a man who boasts that he born bad, and he bad since he's small. What message is that for a child or children to emulate? Some retired teacher who taught at that school deserved to have the school named after them. reads this email. Like so many other schools in the Federation with past teachers' names. It is time Douglas ceased that greedy, avaricious appetite of wanting everything. You do not have to accept everything that is offered to you. Pass it on. Don't some one that is more deserving of it. Any teacher will be more creditable than Douglas for that prestigious school name to be given to them. Even Sammy's former deputy last week on Freedom Radio expressed his indignation and declared, like Kenny Anthony, former Prime Minister of St. Lucia, that they do not want anything to be named after them. Kudos to you, Sam. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, good evening.
Yes,
good evening, Mr. Liburn, Kalikwan Ant.
How are you? I am peaceful. Yourself?
Hello?
Yes, I'm peaceful. Yourself? You're live. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. How you enjoy your independence?
Well, it hasn't come as yet, but, it's been restful for me.
Huh?
Independence is coming. Yeah. What about you?
And it feel like he had an independence in thinking how the economy is so dead and so down. Dr. July, from the time he started to campaign, he telling lies. Now he gone in, he's still telling lies. What really going on in this place here? We need a strong Mr. Loiboda. A strong person we're going to rule this country, and his person. Think it could come good and think it could be better. This man bringing down think it, This man bringing down the economy. He's bringing down everybody in this country. Nothing do. Nothing doing, nothing happening. Everybody talk. A lady talking yesterday from St. Paul's and saying, one term for him because he don't know what he's doing. Think it's something wrong with think it ain't coming a better harmony this man here. He needs to go. We cannot stand by Mr. Loiburn and talk and blah blah we more and do move to action. Soon, because we ain't gonna get the money. The children might be independent today, and you need to look where they are independent cheat. By all the school and how dead the school is with the children them. And the time he and the cabal they went in, they take 3%. The teacher them can't give nothing for the money. The policeman them, the doctors, the nurses, public works, skeleton people and go down the line. But then as soon as they reach in the jump and put on 3% on the money, they better give back Timothy this country right now. They better give back Timothy Harris this country right now. Otherwise, God, they don't have we in this country. And we need the people there. This is the problem. Labor is the problem right now in this country. For everybody talk about them. They're not doing nothing good to the country, neither to the people them. He fool the young people them. He boys them. He brainwash the mind. They sprinkle the red powder up and down in all the constituency them. They're going to come out, one term for them. The hospital them will want repair. But you're going to build smart hospital. But all the money that Timothy left in there, he walk it up, he cover them. The post office in 20 points will want repair. The school them, the primary school down the alley down there. One other water inside the little bathroom. Well, one thing. He ain't doing nothing to the people and for the people and put them in there. He ain't doing nothing, he ain't doing nothing. Go to the country. He needs to take him outside and go. He needs to go because people don't say no. They got independence today. I'm get the place be. I'm ready to hell near here tonight. We'll hear the cover them. Where are you with the money? She can't go back in the house and call budget. Can the passport them not sell like once ago?
Okay, my dear.
No work stop. The young people them not getting no work.
Okay.
Mr. Loiburn, we going to sit back and got them people there doing a lot of shit in this country,
Okay,
they have to go. We need to do something, to get rid of them,
Yes, I agree. I agree with you. We We've heard you loud and clear.
Yes, you have
And
to go.
we thank you for your intervention.
You have to go, man. And they're doing that, man, bringing on good to the country. You want the honest go to run this country. Think it could be better.
Okay, my dear, thanks a lot.
Think it could be better and come better.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, thanks a lot, my dear.
Everybody talk about them, you say, they do not want to nonsense. Cast them in the mission for getting higher and higher. I thought we can do nothing with it.
Okay, my dear. Thanks a lot for
You can't do nothing with it.
I thank you for your intervention. I believe I'm winding down, so I'll have to try to take as many more calls as possible. Perhaps take 2 more calls. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, Patches, one last comment.
Yes, can I guide you by the rules of brevity?
Yeah, sure. One last comment just to follow up on my comments earlier. And back at the Prime Minister again. Today, when he was on Freedom, he said that, I believe he said that, I stand corrected, but I believe he said that a copy of the SSD law will be available in the federal office in Nevis. But I can't see how that is. And I was stating earlier, he hasn't come over to Nevis in his capacity as Prime Minister. And is that office over there at Nevis, is it open? Is it open and is it operational? Man, we got to sort this stuff out. Okay. And I'll leave it there. Thanks a lot, man. You guys have a good night.
Thanks a lot for your your guidance. Good evening. Reads this email. I came across an interview online with Roger Veer and the agent that helped him with his citizenship application for St. Kitts and Nevis. In brief, he stated clearly what we all know. He loved the fact that he has no taxes to file in St. Kitts. He loves the fact that he has an opportunity to live as he wishes without restrictive laws. Him and others like him of similar mindset. In the interview, he also mentioned something that made me, as a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis, feel small. He said, and I quote, "Business is basically moving something from a place where it has little value to a place where it has greater value." He then went on to give an example that we Kittitians and Nevisians value the money we get from selling passports more than the passport itself. So in essence, whosoever will just bring the money come. Mr. Liebert, I and many like me would love development, but we can't sell out for it. And we should be wise enough to look within for the development we seek. Remember the white lady who laid across the beach in Nevis when our children were enjoying themselves on the public beach? Can you imagine thousands of rich foreigners in our country who feel almighty because they gave us money, something of lesser value to them for our passports? Mr. Liebert, our leaders have compromised themselves on posh yachts. Now they have the devil to pay, and they are leveraging our lands and our children's future. Reads this email. Good night, Patches. Okay. This other email reads, Patches. Okay. I don't think we need to read those there. Our final email I'll read, my Straight Talk family, is, Dear Mr. Patches, someone just called me to tell me that you asked for the bank statements obtained by MSR Media by a subpoena to Straight Talk. Those bank statements have been sent by my lawyers to the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Homeland Security. MSR cannot release these statements. Excuse me about that. My Straight Talk family have been struggling with school. Let me read that again. Someone just called me to tell me that you asked for the bank statements obtained by MSR by a subpoena to Straight Talk. Those bank statements have been sent by my lawyers to the U.S. Department of Justice and U.S. Homeland Security. MSR cannot release these statements or the documentary until the work is finished by the U.S. authorities on this matter. We will wait for the outcome of the work of the U.S. government on this matter. After they finish the analysis of the bank statements, we have no comments to make until this is completed. Thank you for your understanding, MSR Media Limited. Well, it does not negate the fact that Straight Talk would like to get access to that information so we can substantiate or verify the issues. It's just about 10 o'clock. It's just about time for me to wrap. And my people, I want to say in closing that this is the hour to wake up. We must ask ourselves, what is independence without land? What is sovereignty without control? What is freedom when decisions about our country are being made in back rooms by a few elite families and their foreign partners? This is not a time for silence. We submit, my Straight Talk family. This is not a time for silence. This is a time for resistance. This is a time for standing up, for reclaiming our land, our power, and our future. Let us reject, let us, my Straight Talk family, roundly reject this neo-colonial agenda. Whether it wears a suit in Bastille or a smile in Charlestown, we have to reject it. Let us demand that no land be sold or leased to foreign developers without the explicit approval of the people. Let us call for an audit on the Crown lands, land transfers, and political dealings on both islands. Let us remember that independence is not a date. Independence is not a speech. Independence is not a flag. Independence is the power to decide our future for ourselves, by ourselves, and in the interest of the generations to come. St. Kitts and Nevis, this is our moment. As we stand on the threshold of the 42nd anniversary of independence, we cannot wait until the last acre of land is gone, until our people are renters in their own land, until our national anthem becomes a hollow song. We must rise, we must resist, we must reclaim. Let us make this year when we don't just celebrate independence, but finally demand it. Not just from Britain, not just from past colonial masters, but from those amongst us who would sell us back into bondage under the name of development. Recolonization will not be our future, not under our watch, not in our name. But when the true spirit of freedom rise again in St. Kitts Nevis, then there will be no need to ask, independence or recolonization, what is it? And that's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I must thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight. And as always, I thank you, the many who called, the thousands who listened, and those who send emails. Just remember that you are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. I leave you with the quotation from that caller from across the Narrows. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressors. It must be demanded by the oppressed. And place this in your diary, my Straight Talk family, that come Monday, God's willing, we will move to part 2 of the National Bank on the criminal investigation. I promise you that, and I'm sticking to that. Part 2 of that episode will be aired on Monday, God's willing. Tell your friend, tell your neighbor, tell your family, tell everyone. It's going to be interesting revelations. But until then, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Be good to all whom you meet, and remember that whatever your mind conceives, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. I struggle with the cold tonight, but thank God for seeing me through. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Monday.
The morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now, I'll keep moving on, till I reach the top somehow. Down on my knees, the Lord I kneel and pray, with my heart and soul, beg Him to take me through each day. My God,